So I woke up at 3 a.m. one night this week because I couldn't sleep and I was tossing and turning and I was thinking about self-love. And so I got up and I spent 2 hours just journaling, writing down all of the thoughts, all of the feelings that I had about self-love. And I wanted to share some of those with you because I think as a society we majorly misunderstand self-love. We think that self-love is bubble baths and champagne and rest days and not being too hard on ourselves. And I'm not knocking self-care, but that's not the full picture. Self-love is something that I have been on this journey of for a very long time, because there was a point in my life where I really did not love myself. And I wasn't aware of it. It's not like I woke up thinking, gee, I really don't love myself today. But it showed up. It showed up in my anxiety. It showed up in my insecurities. It showed up in the ways that I was always trying to prove myself and be better than other people somehow. It showed up in the way that I would avoid being seen or taking risks. So I think there's 3 parts to self-love. And the first piece is self-acceptance. See, all of us have things that we don't like about ourselves. There's parts of ourselves that we reject, that we disown, that we feel embarrassed or ashamed of. Maybe those are something physical that we're insecure of, our body, our weight, the way we look. Maybe it's a characteristic or a trait that we have. Maybe it's a part of our identity, our sexuality, our race, our religion. Maybe it's things that we've done in the past, ways that we've hurt people, ways that we've hurt ourselves, addictive tendencies, bad habits, patterns that we fall into. Whatever it is, I'd be willing to bet that you right now watching this video, that there's some parts of you that make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little shamed. Maybe you don't like to think about, or you try to avoid, or maybe compensate. And so self-acceptance is about uncovering and acknowledging those parts of ourselves. It's about giving them love. It's about giving them love and holding them and dissolving that rejection that we hold for those parts of ourselves. It gets complicated, I know. But it's actually really simple. See, I believe that trauma is just wisdom that has yet to be discovered. And when we accept all parts of ourselves equally, wholly, fully, with love, what we actually get is we get the wisdom that those parts are meant to teach us. And that wisdom is actually an incredible gift that we get to share and give to others through service. So self-acceptance is a very important part of self-love, and it is a process. It is not a one-time event. It is a process, as with all of these parts of self-love. The second part of self-love is self-respect. And self-respect is really about what are we willing to tolerate? What are our standards? What are our boundaries? See, there was a time in my life where I was a massive people pleaser. I would always sacrifice what I really wanted for what I thought other people wanted. I was afraid to speak up and claim my space and own my space. I would repeat patterns that weren't good for me through alcohol, drugs, sex. And all of this boiled down to a lack of self-respect in ways that I wasn't respecting myself. So without self-respect, we keep ourselves small, we shrink. We don't go for it. We suppress our voices, we suppress our opinions, we suppress our gifts, our talents. We let ourselves off the hook. The third part of self-love is compassion. It's compassion for ourselves because nobody is perfect. Perfection does not exist as a human quality. There's literally nobody on this planet that isn't messed up, neurotic, anxious, insecure, broken in some way. In some way. That's just part of being human. That's the human condition. And so if we accept that we are never perfect, we never were perfect, and we never will be perfect, then we can have compassion for ourselves when we inevitably stumble and fall and make a mess and hurt people as we're learning and growing. Because most of us are really damn critical of ourselves most of the time. If you watch your thoughts for a while, you'll notice that generally our thoughts tend to be negative, especially negative towards ourselves. But that doesn't help. It actually makes it way harder for us to learn the thing we're trying to learn, achieve the thing we're trying to achieve, or love ourselves. Think of it like this. You're walking in the park one day. You see a parent teaching their kid how to ride a bike. The kid falls off the bike. The parent starts yelling at them saying, "You suck, you're terrible, you are never gonna be successful because you fell off this bike and nobody's ever gonna love you," and then starts kicking them while they're down on the ground. It sounds ridiculous, but without compassion, that's what most of us are doing to ourselves. So compassion is very, very important part of self-love because none of us will ever be perfect. So this is a process. This is not a one-time event. This is not a feeling. This is not something that you just decide one day, I'm going to love myself, and now I love myself. No, it is a journey. It is truly a journey. And the longer you're on this journey, the more that you unearth these layers of yourself, you see that as humans, we're infinitely peeling onions. There is no end to the layers. There is always more that we can love ourselves. There's always more acceptance, more respect, and more compassion that we can bring to ourselves. And I believe that that is by design. That is part of what it means to be a human. That's part of why we are here, is to peel back these layers, to see them, to sit in the discomfort, the pain of it, to transmute that, to alchemize it, to love it, to discover the gifts and the talents and the beauty inside of all of that, and then share that with others. So if that resonates with you, my question for you is, what would it look like to love yourself even more? What would it look like to have even more acceptance, respect, or compassion for yourself? I'll see you in the next one.